it is like the most perfect mix I think I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even. I'm too excited.
Yeah, she's
really good.
Hi, welcome back to our channel. We are Chase and Malia, and today we are reacting to Ernie Zakri. I hope I'm saying that right. Zachary? Zachary? I know it's not Zachary.
Not Zachary.
Could be Zakri. I hope somebody helps us in the chat.
Oh, they will.
Today's video was sponsored by our friend Moz Rusli, and so if you would like to sponsor a video just like this one, there's a link in the description box below where you can find out how to do that. So thank you so much to Moz for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. Okay. Man,
I feel like Malaysian singers are like
got it going on.
Got it going.
At least for our preference, I guess.
I don't know. Like so far.
Okay. That higher point where she started going higher. What do you think about that? Was that all belty belt?
No.
No.
I thought it was the most beautiful head voice mix I've ever heard. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if we just blew out our mics.
We just blew out our mics.
So sorry. I feel the exact same way. So we're going to watch it again. Don't you worry. But I feel the exact same way. I think that was why I liked her voice so much from the beginning, because she belts in like a good place.
Yeah.
But then this last line here was beautiful and not like tensiony or like.
Well, she's got the big kind of growly little bit, you know. And we talk about that all the time, like, you know, you shouldn't be working hard, all that kind of stuff. And when you growl, I mean, you're definitely doing something that if you did that all the time, it's gonna hurt your voice. But when that's the sound you're going for, and you know how to do it in like a moment to achieve kind of an effect, and then as you go up, you're not holding things in weird spots.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know, this transition. we're gonna back it up because I want you to watch as she goes up. It kind of her timbre changes a little bit, but it's still really powerful and sounds that same kind of growly, the same kind of, you know, the belty sound that a lot of people are going for. But I can tell it's a mix. You heard it.
She's not compromising her technique to do that, and I think that's what our point is. Our point is that I think it's a beautiful sound, and I think it's a very healthy sound.
You can do both.
You can do both. One other thing I'm going to say before we rewind: in the very beginning, she's so blowing out that mic.
Oh yeah,
it's like
oh yeah. She's
got a big voice.
She's got a big voice. She's getting after it.
I'm so excited.
I'm digging it already.
So excited.
Okay, we're gonna back it up. Listen to her voice timbre change as she goes up.
Yes.
Kaburi belayan manja yang kusangka tenang, rupanya tersimpan rahasia. Ku bersuara saat kau berikan derita, terpedaya bukan pengakhiran cerita luka tercabar.
Okay, we gotta explain it more because I don't know if anybody else gets it. Like, it's not the power that comes from like pushing your voice to the end of its limits.
Yeah.
That like Demi Lovato has, Jessie J has. Not to say that they're always singing unhealthy, but you know what I mean? Like they push their voice to the edge and end and past the end of their limits, and they've talked about it, and we can go down that in a different video.
Yeah.
We're gonna listen to that note one more time, and she has like vibrato.
Yeah.
It is like the most perfect mix I think I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even. I'm like, it's what I strive to sound like.
Well, I feel like, so this is something that's interesting because Malia and I are both, we went to the same school. We studied with sometimes the same teachers.
Yeah.
I studied with a couple different teachers. And, when we try to help each other sing, there's a trust that has to happen.
Absolutely.
That you have to believe what that person says. Yeah. Malia does not believe me when I say things that sound
that
good.
it sounds
like,
good.
no, that sounds good.
Yeah.
When she tries to mix, she's trying to belt and do the big belty thing. But when she tells me, I was like, well, what was that? And she goes, well, that was a mix. And I was like, well, that sounded freaking awesome.
Right.
And so you have to kind of, just dive into that world, even if it feels weaker or it feels all this kind of stuff. Listen to it. This is why recording yourself is really important.
Yes, and studying with a teacher, and maybe even having like a friend, whatever you have access to. If you have access to record yourself, if you have access to a friend who you trust, if you have access to a voice teacher, there are so many ways that you can better understand your voice. That's not just singing, because you actually need to hear it.
Yeah.
You need to hear. And you need
so
somebody else to hear
it.
it. Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
But that, I think, yes, her mix, we're going to listen to it one more time. And I'm going to try to explain, and show you what I mean by, maybe how somebody else would approach that note.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Dijual pada mereka, tersajiwa diperguna, aku terserah, jaga dari lengah.
Okay, so it's just that little thing here.
Jiwa diperguna, aku terserah, jaga dari lengah.
So I don't know the words, but she goes da 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 da. The first two notes are like strictly head voice. Don't you feel that?
Yep.
Da 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 da. And so to me, what she does is it's the vowel. It's a super bright vowel. There's a bit of a nasal placement there that adds that
the ping.
That ping. Thank you. That's exactly the word that I wanted.
The frequency that lets it kind of cut through the whole mix.
Absolutely. And I think what other singers would do wouldn't mix that. They would try to fully belt that. I can't really do that, but I feel like it would be. Can I even do that?
Give it a shot. Was that a belt?
That was more belty.
Okay.
But I feel like that's not what she does.
I think that you're so used to mixing that it gets difficult to then go back and do the belt
Back
thing.
into belting.
But
it's also based on your range too.
It's based on your range, absolutely. I think you can hear her add a little something.
Yes.
When she hits that higher note.
Just from those two notes.
And it's, guess what? Aaron Val.
Val.
Boom. Guess what? Boom. Well, it's the same thing we say every time.
It's a little bit of nose,
too. A little bit of nose.
But I think that's just also
that's
where
resonance,
that fits.
though.
Yeah,
that's
resonance.
And I think Val helps you with this. So when you have something that's, she's got her mouth open really well.
Yeah.
But it's not back. It's not going, oh, there's not a bunch of space back there.
Right.
It's here.
Yeah.
She's got, right?
It's like hissing.
Yeah, it's forward.
Back of your teeth.
And I think bringing things forward will help your nose, a little bit resonate.
Which you need for that ping that we're talking about. I'm too excited.
She's really
good.
Janji kembali gai cinta terkaburi belayan manja yang kusangka tenang rupanya tersimpan rahasia. Ku bersuara saat kau berikan derita.
third key change? Or was it the first key change?
I think that was... Okay, there's no good places to stop in this.
We're probably going to watch that again. I'm sorry, but...
That's all right.
Do I still have chills? I did.
Oh, you
Can
do?
You see 'em?
Oh, my goodness.
Like,
oh, my
I have
gosh.
chills.
So, she is getting after it.
Yes.
And it is so... I think watching anybody just dominate their instrument,
right,
whether it's guitar or the drums or the piano or singing is the best, obviously. This is a singing channel. Singing is obviously the best.
The best.
Watching somebody just dominate their instrument is really, really
entertaining
and impressive.
Yeah. Sorry, I stole the words.
That's okay.
I gave you them.
That's okay. You just fed them to me. But she... I don't know. You know, I really love when she just flips up there.
Yeah.
I also am enjoying her kind of just going for it. I think this is probably the finale of some sort of show.
Yes. Seems like a big event.
Seems like a big kind of closing thing. Where she's just kind of going all over the place. And what a lot of people try to do, I think, is they try to bear down and scream that. I mean, we were talking earlier about the belting thing, and she's flipping up.
Yeah. Using her headphones.
Because that's where I think it's the easiest way to do this. And guess what? It sounds good.
Right.
It sounds great.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there's a few things that I wanted to point out from that. Like, there were a few moments where she definitely did, like, bring more chest up. Yeah. But I'm impressed at her pretty much consistent effort to mix specifically in that partner voice. And I'll show you like right here, this part, which is really high energy and super big and she's doing all these riffs and runs, it still feels like she's mixing. Like it still feels like she's in this place in her voice that she could do all day long.
Yeah.
She could do it all the time. She doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, that's exhausting. Might be exhausting like energy wise, but not like technically it's not taxing on her voice. But that's what I'll point that out when we rewind. Was there anything else that you noticed?
Oh man, so she took out her in-ear monitor.
Oh yeah.
So if any of you have ever sung with monitors or if you've ever sung with headphones on, it is a totally different thing. It's actually really, really difficult. And so that's why you see a lot of singers just take them out because you want to be able to hear your own stuff. But
most of the time people have one out. Like I know for myself, I only use one when I sing with in-ears. Yeah. You have to have a very good sound person. And even then, not saying that this sound person for her is not great. Even then, in the moment, there's a lot of times where you just need your own understanding. Because it is not.
It's not how we're used to hearing our voice.
Hearing yourself, and so it's kind of something you have to get used to. So that's like a really common thing to see performers do.
I don't know if it's my speakers, but I think she's blowing the mic a bunch of times.
She's blowing them.
It is so cool. Yeah. And these are the frequencies that we're talking about. Every time you hear that like kind of fuzzy like sound, especially when she really gets after it, that's like those frequencies, that ping that we were talking about is a frequency in her voice. One of the things that, something that she's singing is overpowering the microphone.
Right.
And that's because of how resonant her voice is.
Absolutely.
Those frequencies are being boosted in how she's singing, her singing technique.
And she's already being amplified.
To just blow that mic.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool thing, especially when you see a lot of singers who kind of use a mic and barely sing, and people just turn mics way up, but they're barely going.
Right. You under-supported. Yeah.
It's just...
This is not happening here.
It's not happening here. She's a powerhouse.
Okay.
What you would describe as a powerhouse.
No, it's true. It's true.
Let's hear the big part again.
That note and that vowel. But I feel like she has a pretty good like chest presence.
The vowel is the
Yeah, that's that vowel we always talk about.
Yeah.
But it's not. I was even too nasally or too close there. But yeah, Oh, it's so good. Yeah. That was a good one. hear the difference between those two things?
Yeah. And then when she flips, she goes to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so much more. I mean, I always say piercing, and that is definitely the wrong word. Ping is the word.
Well, piercing, I think it's this is the thing. This is why we try to do these disclaimers that we're not saying if things are good or bad. When we say something is piercing, it doesn't mean, good or bad is up to you. We're
but
just
I am saying it in a positive way.
Yeah, I am. But it is piercing. That's the thing.
It is piercing,
something that look at all those instruments out there.
Oh my gosh.
Look at all of this sound happening, all these things happening. For her voice to cut through like that. They can do that with all the, the backs.
But that's not what's
the backline stuff. But that's not what's happening. Yeah. She is singing in such an efficient way. Yes. This is why we talk about efficiency. An efficient way that she can easily stand out. That's how opera singers do it. That's how those big powerhouse vocalists do it.
Yeah.
Is they have a lot of these frequencies going on that just stand out above all the other instruments.
Absolutely. So she switches there, because if you hear that note, she kind of she definitely kind of goes a little bit under the pitch at this bigger note here. And she pulls the mic away, and it's just super huge power energy. Yeah. And then she goes into this beautiful mix later that is like. Goes a little bit under. That is so good.
Blowing the mic.
That's also why she can so easily flip to that more classical, purely head voice, because she's already halfway there.
Yeah.
Like the placement that she is using and the way she is navigating that part of her register is already so loose and
are approaching that head voice already, so the transition isn't so jarring.
That's exactly the words I needed. Thank you. I couldn't even think of it. No, but that's exactly what happened. So it's just really cool to hear. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just loving it. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That could be a Bond theme song.
I know. I should. It said the
James
composer
Bond
and everything.
Theme song.
Whoa.
Wow.
Maybe it was like a Bondy thing. That's why
I
the
don't know.
beginning
I
was.
thought it was just a big band awesomeness. Yeah, she's a great singer.
She's a great singer. She's also super young.
Yeah,
it seems like she's
scared to find out how young she is.
I know, let's look it up. Everyone's gonna tell us, but let's look it up anyway. She's an actress and voice
She's
teacher.
29.
Oh! No way.
And what year was that? 2021. So she was 28.
She's
that's pretty good.
So she's a singer, actress, and voice teacher. She rose to fame after winning a singing contest in 2009. Wow.
She was born in 1992. I'm 90. Malia's 91.
That is amazing.
I don't know why that matters to us so much.
It matters though, because when people succeed at
and they're
stuff,
14 and they sing
just like when you watch the Olympics
good.
And you're like,
sure.
oh, you're 16, great. What have I done with my life?
I can and you can jump 10 feet in the air.
It's so funny. Anyway, that's really awesome. That actually makes me feel even better about her voice, and it makes a lot more sense because her voice is
mature.
Yeah, it's mature.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's one reason why I was afraid to find out how old she was, because when you hear super young singers having super mature voices, that's not always a healthy thing.
Right. That could be like a manipulated thing.
Pretty often, actually, it's not a healthy thing, and they might have issues with that later on.
She probably gets that all the time, that she looks young. So I'm sorry if we've added to that misconception.
Yeah,
but I mean, she is young. Like, she is in her 20s.
Yeah,
She's young.
totally.
But that's amazing. That's awesome.
Just a killer singer. Killer singer.
I am so happy. Thank you so much for suggesting this video.
Thank you so much
and
for
sponsoring
suggesting
this video. This was quite a pleasure.
Treat.
Yes.
Treat. Awesome. We hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We make new videos like this every week. If you would like to sponsor a video, we have a link in the description box below. We're Chase and Malia. We'll see you soon.